Testing 1, 2.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hello, Ann.
Hi, Dorian.
And we would like to welcome everyone to the first official podcasts of Ann and Dorian.
The couple, Brooklyn's finest.
Now, we did have a name for this. Let's see if we can figure out this name.
Well, we call ourselves our universal force.
Our universal force.
We are a force.
Force to be reckoned with.
Maybe.
Definitely. No qualms on that.
We will take what you give.
Right, that's true.
And deal with it.
Yes. We were probably going to try to come up with a name for the podcast. Was it going to be Our Universal Force? Or was it going to be podcast Sensuous Rhythm of Ann and Dorian?
Oh, shit. Is that what we wrote down?
We did write this down somewhere.
Wow.
Maybe drunk, maybe at a high.
That's
maybe at
not
a bar.
a bad title.
It's not a bad title. Sensuous Rhythm.
But that sounds so tantric, which is fine.
So the Ann
but
and
that's
Dorian,
almost a category.
It's a category. It is a category.
Is a sensuous rhythm that we experience.
That could be a particular portion.
Yeah.
Of our podcast.
Oh, like we've got our, what's our
15 minutes, 15 minutes,
yes.
15 minutes.
Each, yes. This is the subcategory.
Yeah, and this is the section of the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like
it's time for the most anticipated section. Say it.
What's it called again?
Sensuous
Rhythm
of Ann and Dorian. Ooh, I like that. That sounds nice.
Yeah.
Sensuous rhythm of Ann and Dorian.
It's time for the sensuous rhythm of Ann and Dorian.
Whoa.
Ooh, I have to touch my mic because I'm kind of way to experience Dorian. Oh.
Touch yourself.
I like this. Like little bit of distance, but yet intimate space we're creating.
A little bit of distance.
Oh.
So intimate. I touch you. I touch you a little bit. That happens on this podcast. This happens in everyday life.
That you can't see.
Yes.
That you can hear and maybe feel within yourself.
Exactly.
Express yourself.
We'll have videos and things. Yes, if you feel some kind of way, touch yourself. Touch your beard.
Yeah.
Touch your
Just touch your fucking self.
Yeah.
I tell my clients that all the time. Just touch your jaw. Touch your body.
So, since you mentioned clients, we haven't really discussed with the audience who we are and what we do.
Okay.
So,
intros.
Ann, would you like to introduce yourself and tell our audience a little bit about how you spend your time when not recording this amazing podcast?
Wow, considering it's Saturday morning and we're doing this for a couple hours, there's a lot that I do when I'm not Ann on the podcast, Our Universal Force. Formerly known as Foreplay.
Do you want to give your government or no?
Oh, shit, no.
Oh, you can bleep that out.
I don't want you to hear that.
We can bleep that out after the fact.
We will. Okay.
Yeah. Do we want to? That's a question.
Yeah.
It's a
do
question.
We want to be somewhat anonymous?
I mean, it is.
I'd like to be able to say anything and everything.
Yeah,
and I don't really give a fuck.
Right.
Just let them know.
Right. I say we'll go with Ann and Dorian to give them a little bit of curiosity.
Okay.
Curiosity.
Yeah.
But it's not that hard to find us.
Right.
We are Brooklyn.
Well, and if I'm about to tell them what I do.
Yeah, but you don't got to be like, I work here or I own this or you'll find me on Tuesday mornings on Channel 7, on what program?
We won't say. All by
say.
myself on 5th Street.
Yeah, see? Don't give them too much information.
No.
You can't. That's the catch.
Okay.
We'll bleep it all out. A little bit. Yeah, a little bit, but not all.
Well, I'm a personal trainer. Ooh, I guide people through exercise. Right. And they come to me with their goals and their aches and pain patterns, and I offer solutions. And then we develop a relationship.
Okay.
And people I've been working with for over 3 years, and we have fun with our workouts. We get to know each other, and mostly just through the workout space. There's a little bit of time that we've spent outside of our workouts, but mostly we keep our roles distinct.
Okay.
Me as trainer,
Okay.
them as client and receiver of my knowledge. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Okay.
And that's what I do professionally. And I building out the studio too. So working on the operations and enforcing them. Creating some sort of system so we can grow and be organized.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many years have you been in the training space? Not particularly what you exactly in the places that you do this now, but how long has it been that you have been training people?
It has been since my days back in Washington State. Where I had a dance business. And I would consider that training people. Training people how to move their bodies and dance. And coordination. And that, oh God, now we're going back to Boulder, Colorado. That was when I was... So
Don't give ages.
Oh shit.
See, you're giving lots of... I gotta bleep all this out.
All right,
There's gonna be lots of leads.
Shit, okay. So we're going back to 2007.
Okay.
11 years ago.
So 11 years ago is when you first started training people. Now you mentioned dance.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your dance background.
My dance background. Oh God. Well, it all started with those pink leg warmers.
Oh.
Purple. Pink leotard. And tutu. I was doing creative movement at like 3 years old. And my sisters and I used to put on shows for my parents and their friends. And I became much more infatuated with sports. And that's what a lot of my friends were doing.
Okay.
So later, I reintroduced dance into my life when I was, back in 19... I'm not saying ages, so I'm trying to figure out math. So let's see.
Well, the years weren't all that important. There's not so much when. I would say more so like the journey. So you started doing dance while young.
Yeah.
And then you continued dance. What forms of dance?
Well, I started doing ballet and tap.
Okay.
And jazz. It was kind of like an elective situation.
Right.
So I went to a studio and I was like, okay, here's all of our offerings.
Right.
I signed up for all of them. And then my teacher invited me to do hip hop. She was like, she saw something in me. She's like, this girl's funky. Probably because like most of the structure with the jazz, like I wasn't really getting. I'd get kind of frustrated with that. So I was a unique one.
Okay.
And she invited me to go to her studio. She was moving out of this smaller studio, and I went with her.
Okay. So then you started doing hip hop.
Hip hop, still did jazz, and started doing this stuff competitively.
Okay.
So I'd go to, hotels for weekends, take workshops with professional instructors from, the coasts. And then in the evening, we'd compete the piece that we've been working on for the past, 3 months.
Right.
And that's what I did for a long time.
Okay. Interesting. So how is the balance of being a personal trainer for other people, as well as being a dancer work? And I'm assuming that because you're a trainer, you're also heavily into fitness for yourself.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how you live your life as a professional woman as a dancer and a trainer and into fitness in New York City, in Brooklyn.
My God. Okay, so these are like a lot. This is like 3 questions, right?
Yeah. So how does
how does generally like the dance and fitness, like how does that like come together?
How is that doing that in Brooklyn?
How is doing
like,
that in Brooklyn?
Yeah, in New York.
Well, okay,
what's
so
life
I
like
moved
for you?
to Brooklyn, to New York City, to dance because I wanted to be a part of like kind of like the street culture of it. That's what I discovered, right? First came here, I was in the studio and realized that the industry and that hustle wasn't for me. I was more intrigued by the cultural past from the late 70s or late 80s in dance.
Right.
So I joined a rocking crew, a Brooklyn rocking crew, which was one of the first original forms of what we now know to be hip hop. Right. Okay. And with the journey of that, culture element, that's a little bit separate. But what brings my fitness and dance together is this element of conditioning. So like training with a purpose has always been a part of my repertoire, and learning about dance gives me insight as to how to execute the moves.
Right.
So doing reps to get particular moves into your body is something I'm passionate about. I love conditioning, strength training.
Right.
And so that is, that's like that coagulation of both of those worlds.
Fancy word. Coagulation. Medical, but yet still sexy.
Dr. Ann.
Dr. Ann.
Any more questions? I want to ask you questions. You're doing so great. I should exercise this skill.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I am Emcee.
So you are, huh? All right, Emcee. So tell me about your journey through music and performance. Maybe those are 2 different things.
Yeah, sure.
When did your music journey begin?
So it began at a young age, recording music out of necessity to be able to listen to what I liked and not have to wait for it to play on the radio, or if I didn't own, let's say, the vinyl or the tape, I would record it and then listen to it. So I started recording music early that I would hear out. And then...
On what device?
Tape deck, like an old school flat tape deck. So I record music from the radio or from wherever I could hear it playing. Even if I had tapes or vinyl, I would stick the tape deck next to the speaker.
It was one of those flat tape decks. I can picture it now. It's got those buttons.
Yeah, it has the buttons. It flips
right?
up long.
You can carry it. Did it have a little carry?
It might have had a little carry. It might have had a little thing to slide up. Yeah, a little handle. So did that. And that's totally dating myself, but that's perfect.
Yeah. Let them be curious.
So we'd do that. And as time went on, I would buy vinyl, had vinyl, and I would just continue to record. That was just a way to be able to listen to whatever music I wanted to when I wanted to. Because I was an impatient son of a bitch, even as a kid.
You had your preferences.
I had my preferences.
What'd you like to listen to?
I listened to everything. It was house at the time. You know what house was. It was dance, Motown, soul, funk, hip hop, R&B. That was like most of just freestyle back in the day. It was the thing. So there was a lot of different genres, but it was everything that played, anything you could dance to, and we danced to. And it definitely, like, everyone was at dance, and everyone played instruments. So we played instruments, recorded music. So it was always a musical kind of theater, let's say, whether it was dancing or listening or, people trying to rap or sing.
Wait, hold on a second. So now it sounds like you're getting more in the entertainment. So, like, from you being at home.
Well, we all performed, but see, everyone performed. Every kid on my block, everybody in our family all played instruments, all performed. Okay. Family was a list, our family all played instruments. Parents, aunts, uncles, grandparents, everyone played an instrument. Everyone played well, too.
Okay.
So it wasn't just goofing around. We all actually tried to do it well. Okay. But that took on, when you're in music, there's so many different forms of music, and when you have access to all of them, you pick which ones you do best. And so I've sided more towards the DJ side, or the recording music side, the recorded music side. Still played instruments, but being able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Song selection was really, I can't find the word I'm looking for, but being able to cater, songs to the mood, or to finding songs that fit together in a certain way, that became a good skill.
Like the feng shui for music.
Feng shui for music. There is a great easy word that we all know, and I can't think of it right now.
Like setting the atmospheric tone.
Possibly, yeah. But I like curate is the word I'm looking for. Curate music together that work well together for whatever I was looking for to do.
For that
and so, I started to build my music collection at that point via tapes and vinyl. And then slowly that continued on. And so music was always a part. So from the performance side, that was the early days. That what got me. That was the interest level. As I got older, I would find lots of DJs were the big thing at the time, or it just happened to be I fell into a lot of DJs. And so I would keep up in the musical side. But then once people stop playing instruments, you get to a certain age, and you're in high school, people aren't playing instruments anymore, people playing sports and doing this, but DJing and dance were still always a big part. So that's how I stayed in the music game that way, once I was just goofing with instruments, and I wasn't really taking it like lessons and seriousness. And then DJing was always there, so I kept on DJing, kept on performing, learned how to work on microphones a little bit. I did public speaking.
Well, hold on, slow down then.
Yeah.
We got some more questions over here.
Yeah.
So when was your first DJ performance?
The first time I played music out. It's a great question. The first time I did it by myself, I was probably like 17.
Don't say
18.
those ages.
Yeah, I'll say I was 17 or 18 when I first played music.
So you're in high school.
Right. I can give that
like
away.
Your last year
that's
is high
fine.
school.
Yeah.
And then before that, were you recording your family when they were playing instruments?
No, I don't think
we did.
We did, but everyone was in band performances when in school, like so we recorded.
For a family band.
No names.
Okay.
Gotta bleep that out. No, we didn't record it. We didn't play together like that.
Okay.
We would all like goof around, but
okay.
Yeah. I'm an only kid. I was an only kid at the time, so there was no family band. There was a extended family band, but not really. Like my mom and my brother and her brothers, aunts and uncles, they all would play. They played together as kids. Yeah, they did that. Even as teenagers, they all played together. But once we got into like nephews and nieces, we all just did our own thing. But we partied together, and we DJ'd music together.
Okay.
So I had an older cousin who was a DJ, whose records I still have, and that we still have, and like we would DJ together and play songs and dance and practice dances and has dance competitions and battle and things of that nature. But the DJing as a teenager, only like my one cousin and myself really kept up with that part. And everyone else, once they got into high school or started getting older in the college, they stopped playing, So I stayed with it. And then I slowly built my skills up, bought my first piece of gear at like 18, 19. And that just kind of snowballed it, because once I had gear, then I could play out, and I worked for DJs who had gear, and I would dance, and I would learn how to mix and do things, record, but I didn't have my own gear to do gigs until I could afford. So I afforded to buy a piece of gear.
What was your first piece of gear?
It was a mixer, a little 2-channel mixer by a company called Gemini.
Okay.
Out of Jersey, matter of fact.
Gemini. Wow. Represent.
People don't know
hometown.
that. Yeah. A fun fact is that later on in life, maybe not even that much later on, Gemini, I found out where Gemini's, by randomly, I was looking through like the paper and looking at jobs, and Gemini had a job posting for, I don't remember what it was for, maybe customer service. So I actually went. I didn't want the job because I think it paid less than what I actually got paid. But I just wanted to see what their factory and what their offices were like. So I went down there and just like kind of tried to did an interview. I didn't want the job, and I was way overqualified for the job. But I was like, I just want to see what your offices look like. You know what I mean? Like, I was doing what I do now professionally, which is, in software and other things. And back then, like, software wasn't really a thing with Gemini. They were making hardware, making mixers and CD players and things of that nature, turntables. They had just get into the controller game, but their software wasn't there. So it would have been backwards, like a backwards jump,
You're moving up with the technological era.
Yeah. And I liked Gemini, but at the time, it was cool. So I went in there and I got to see it. I was like, oh, yeah, this is cool. And I didn't get a lead on that I was a DJ. I was just like, and asking all kinds of DJ questions. They were like, well, you know a lot about gear. I was like, I know. I would be a good fit. And I was like, I don't want this job. I'm not going to take a quarter of what I make. To answer other DJ terrible questions on Gemini stuff. Like, you should know better, read the instructions.
Meanwhile, you were doing what at the time then?
So
you were looking for a job?
No, I wasn't. I just happened to be looking at. I was looking at DJ stuff in the paper.
Okay.
And I think the job posting happened to be in the DJ section because it's Gemini.
Before the World Wide Web.
This is post World Wide Web.
So people were still in the newsroom. They were still phone books.
Well, there wasn't like a LinkedIn back then. Monster was there, but Monster or Hot Jobs or Yahoo Jobs or any of these were not a lot of companies were using, not a lot of like big companies were using those.
Okay.
When I say big companies of like 5,000 employees or more, or, things of 1,000 employees and over. But Gemini maybe had like 300 employees, 200 employees, and they were basically just in New Jersey. Yeah. So it didn't need to be worldwide. It didn't need to be across the United States where they were offering job posting. It just needed to be in the local paper because they wanted someone, they wanted someone local who's going to come and do customer service, and they wanted the same people who worked at Guitar Center or worked at Sam Ash or worked to come and do customer service kind of thing. So yes, they wouldn't have had posted. Now they would. Now they'd have it on their website and have job posting. I don't even know if they had a website back then.
Yeah. Well, where did you go? Where did you end up?
Well, like I said, I was working already, so that was a different thing. I just wanted to experience what it was like. I'd never walked into a factory of someone who made DJ gear before. Mm-hmm. So the DJ side of me was like alarms were blinging off. Like, what can you learn seeing that end? Would you want to get into the manufacturing side or the product side of, life? Is that something interesting? Yeah. And if it had have been, I'll say this, and I love Gemini. They're a great company. Like I said, my first mixer was them. I bought other products from them. But at some point, the Techniques were still the best turntable. At that point, Pioneer was releasing their CD DJs, and they were becoming the standard for CD players and mixers. And Rain was big. So there were other companies that, if it had been one of those companies, I might have did it. But none of them were in New Jersey. So Rain is in New Zealand, I think, or Australia. Pioneer's in California. All of the big companies are somewhere else, not on the East Coast and, New York, New Jersey region. And I lived
so
in
busy partying, using the equipment.
So busy partying. Right.
Well, so then how is there a crossbreed between your technology side and building things and systems and software to then the performance and the party and the live elements, to talk about that?
Yes. So now there is, because if you look at software like Serato or like GarageBand or Audacity or Logic or Pro Tools, those are all softwares. And if you understand software, there's programming, there's development, there's research, there's customer service, there's QA testing, there's sales. There's so many jobs that work with a company like these who make hardware and software that work together. So since I work in software, there is a bridge there. It's just, once again, where are they located? What kind of jobs do they have? Do you know? So for where I'm at in my profession that I've been doing for like 20 years, there may not be an equal place of what I do as compared to what their need is. But I always look. I do always look. Just in case. But there's not a lot on the East Coast. Like Spotify's here, let's say, and I could do like what I do personally for Spotify or SoundCloud or Pandora or something like that. But I would be doing what I do, which isn't on the product side. It's more on the administrative and company management side. So it could be there, and it could be interesting, but my interest is on the product side. My interest isn't as much in
the culture.
Maybe the culture is not bad, but I work in the human resources side of the world, on that side of technology.
The big dogs.
Yeah, so it's more dealing with the corporate portions of it, which is nowhere near as interesting, even though it would be good for like a company. But it would be
good for a company having been from
work that company, right? I could learn the ins and outs of like how the company works. But if I want to dive into the actual product, I can just do it by owning the product. I can influence probably more on my DJ side and producer side, and giving my feedback and doing beta testing and things like that. And that I do. I'll demo out new products. I'll do beta testing.
Which products have you demoed?
I've DJ demo controllers, my headphones, microphones, things like that. Generally, it's pretty easy. They're usually looking on their forums and on the company forums and on their community pages. They'll put out postings of when they're going to have some new product. If they're looking for beta testers, and you got to be one of the first 100 to sign up, and you got to be looking for it in order to do it. But when I do look for it, and I do get into those modes, then I usually find something. Yeah. Get some product, whether it's software or whether it's hardware or something, and then I'll, use that out on gigs and whatever, and write reviews and post things and all that stuff. Sends your feedback automatically if you're doing something from the computer to them and kind of stuff. So I've done it. It's interesting.
Honest observer.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I'm invested. I spent a lot of we now spend a lot of money on DJ gear and records and everything else. Now, multi thousands of dollars on this stuff. So it's kind of like I do have an opinion, having bought lots of gear. I am a consumer, so I do want the products to work really well. If I'm taking them out on a gig or I'm somewhere and I'm in the middle of a set and something acts up, I want to know what that's going to be and have tested that out. And, so it's a selfish vested interest for me. And,
how many gigs? Yeah, you want the best of the best. You've been doing it for a while. Baby. So how many gigs have you done as a professional DJ?
I'm going to say it's somewhere between like 700 and 1,000.
700,000.
700 and 1,000.
Okay.
Somewhere in that number. Yeah, somewhere. I used to try to keep track. And then it's like you do so many weird little gigs and big gigs, and are you counting like gigs that I was contracted by myself or gigs that someone else had a gig and they brought me in to do the gig with them and all these things and volunteering. That was always things. Yeah, so it's been a lot. How many people have you trained in your life?
Oh,
how many training sessions have you conducted?
I tried to conceptualize that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to break it down. So. In the first year of being here in New York, I probably had I had very small contracts. Mm-hmm. So I was doing like 10 to 20 sessions with a person. Mm-hmm. And at that time, I was doing some more group classes. So I was doing and training more myself physically too. I probably had like 3 regular clients at that time every week. Mm-hmm. Maybe some of them I saw twice a week. So I'd say about 5 sessions on average for the first year. Mm-hmm. And then the next year when I left that job and then moved on to my other job, which was, I'm going to skip one job in between there. But the next personal training job where I had consistent clients, it was more like 10 to 20 for the first year, 2 years. And now I'm up to 25 to 30. Mm-hmm. minus July and August, because all those wealthy clients who I love so much have amazing homes in other areas or travel the world and are out for a couple months. So I'm short on clients right now, but I'm going to reap the benefit of that myself and enjoy this damn city. Somewhere in the city.
Email us at ouruniversalforce@gmail.com if you are living in the New York, Brooklyn area and you're looking for personal training.
Yes.
ouruniversalforce@gmail.com. Yes, I like it. Okay. All right, so we're going to take a quick break, drink some water, and we'll be back with part 2.
Ooh.
And in part 2, we're going to talk about why we are talking on the microphone, what made us want to do a podcast, and we'll get involved in a little bit of our relationship.
We'll have some fun segments.
So stay tuned, and we'll be back. Yeah. We are going on a date tonight.
Ooh, I love our dates.
Yeah. All right, we're back.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome to part 2 of episode 1 of Ann and Dorian's Our Universal Force. Yes, I like that. All right, so you heard a little bit about our background. We'll fill in more as episodes go on.
Totally, but it explains who we are.
A little bit about who we are. We live in Brooklyn. So if you don't know, we live in Brooklyn. We are going to be in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Yes, Crown Heights, Brooklyn.
Part-time Williamsburg.
So let's talk about, and why are we here? Why are we on? Why do you hear? Why are our guests? Hear our voices on the microphone. What was the reasoning behind this podcast?
Said another way. Why are we doing a podcast?
Why are we doing a podcast? Why are we sitting in front of microphones with headphones on in the studio?
It's our duty.
Duty? Like duty?
No, we're actually encouraged and influenced by our therapist, our counselor, to we were just sharing with her about all of our adventures. We're open slate, and she was like, I would love to hear you two have a podcast. And prior to that, she encouraged us to do something greater than us in a way that we're contributing, we're giving back. And so we think our lives are pretty damn interesting, and we do all sorts of things, and we want to share. Yeah, we want to share with everybody what that is. And we've learned so much from listening to podcasts and, from multimedia that's out there in the world, that why not contribute to that pool?
Okay.
Someone else could listen.
Yeah.
Take this with them. Go rock out their relationship.
Okay. Yes.
Do you have any other things to add to that, Dorian?
What would I like to add? Yes. I think that we're naturally, one of the other reasons is that we have a great relationship. So if you haven't figured out, we are in a relationship. We will be getting married next year. We get engaged later this year.
Yeah.
But we're in a relationship, and one of the things that we keep hearing from people is when they see us or experience us in our relationship is how impressed they are at our love for each other in our relationship. And we talk to a lot of couples, a lot of people, and a lot of the things we say, people are impressed by. And we've heard on numerous occasions from different people that we should record or write down some of the things that we experience, what we do, some of the reasons why we do the things we do, some of the things that are working for us. The natural 2019 way of expressing that, you can through writing is wonderful.
Go to our podcast.
Listen to our podcast. We'll talk about this
People
stuff.
say, I want that. I want what you have.
Exactly.
We got that twice last week. We're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But we can't give ourselves to you. Well, I mean, we could in some agreed upon way.
There are ways that we do. So, yes, we'll give you some background also on our lives.
Our sexual lives.
Yes, because this is definitely going to be right now it's being a lot of just like background information, but it will definitely be a sexual and relationship podcast. This is going to go that direction. It's going to be about life. Our relationship is
raw
and real. So we'll talk about everything. We don't give a fuck. Minus our government names.
We do give a fuck. We care about people.
We do, but we're not ashamed of anything.
Of our explicit behaviors.
Exactly.
It's real.
It's real. Yeah. So so to our audience, that's how we decided to come up with this podcast. We've been going through ideas, living a little bit of life, give some subject matter that we can talk about, some interesting things, some things that you may have experienced in life, some things you may not.
Some things you're curious about.
Some things you're curious about. We do the most. And not in a bragging way, but we do a lot.
Yeah.
Between our lives are very out there, as Ann is a dancer and a trainer and lives in New York City and has a crew and does the most. And I myself, as a corporate consultant, traveling corporate consultant at times, and a DJ and MC, I also perform, and we do a lot, and we can easily be 7 days a week, all day, all night, all over the map, doing everything. Or we could be at home, sitting in the studio, recording our podcast, drinking coffee and wine and smoking a blunt and chilling on the balcony and reflecting and doing nothing.
Talking about our future plans and what we want to manifest.
Exactly.
Just spending time with each other.
Exactly.
Being cats and dogs.
Yeah.
Each other's pets.
Yes.
That's a new one.
We watched that. Yeah. I had listened to so we do listen to a lot of podcasts, and we were looking up couples retreats. So that's one of the things for the rest of later on this year that we want to do. We like to do self betterment and couple and our relationship betterment. So one of the things that we were looking at, two things we were looking at. One is a cooking class together, which is something that I've wanted. We both cook. Generally, one of us cooks every day for the most part, minus maybe Tuesdays where we go out to dinner.
Well, let's be descriptive about this.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So we're talking a bit about our relationship. Right?
Sure. So let's be descriptive.
Every morning, Drama makes breakfast.
Dorian.
Shit. Every morning, Dorian makes breakfast for the two of us. That's Monday, except for Tuesdays, because my ass is up and out of bed by 4:30.
Super early in the morning.
Super early.
And generally Tuesdays we don't. Also, we'll go out to dinner or something. Generally we have something to do, so we try to have
Tuesdays are free nights. Monday nights are home night because we know Tuesday's going to be early morning.
Right. So we generally cook either breakfast, I'll cook breakfast, let's say, most of the days of the week, maybe minus the weekends, and then Ann will usually cook on the weekends breakfast. But then we'll also 1 or 2 days a week make something for dinner, even if it's reheating leftovers or cooking something new or whatever. We'll find something. But we do go out. But we go out to dinner a lot. We do eat out. We like eating out. We have this great restaurants in New York City, great restaurants in Brooklyn.
There's no shortage. Of exploring new.
Oh, yeah.
We're still on a hunt.
Oh, yeah.
To find our our regular spots.
Mm-hmm.
But we know it's consistent.
It's consistent. We have places that we go to regularly, but we also want to find something that's we walk, the Cheers moment. We walk in, they're like, Ann and Dorian, we're like, hey! And we have those places. Yes. But that's also because we drink and we party.
Those are the bars.
Yes. We have friends that are in the industry. Ann has bartended for a long time and served. I bartended and served. We're in that industry, and DJ and party in that industry and things of that nature. But we also want to find a restaurant where we can get cozy
friendly.
And we're naturally friendly. Yeah. So yes. Anyway, I digress. I don't even know where we're going with that. But anyway, yes, we cook a lot. Yeah. So anyway, let's move on.
Okay.
Because I don't know where we're going now.
Well, we're talking about the parts of our relationship.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Our function, our weekly functions.
Our weekly feng shui.
Yeah.
Our weekly
how we do. How we make it.
Feng shui.
Feng shui.
Feng shui.
No.
Oh.
So here's something I want to add to
I was trying. My puns are not that great right now. Not
it
punny.
works, but I don't know how funky we are really, So like, we have shaped our lives to exist on, these like pillars of relationship, of life, because we do so much. There's so much so many opportunities, and we're in so many communities, and we're getting invites all the time, and we have these ideas about what to do, and so we've structured our life together such that the things that we do are kind of mission driven. Like they're going towards our relationship, going towards building family, building friendship, love, pleasure, and those are, this here is like, more community and global based.
Right.
More, a little bit more service. So if something within our path aligns with those pillars, those intentions, those missions, then we do them.
Right.
And if it doesn't, we've got to take a look and assess, well, is it worth it for us or not? Because we want to live a fantastic life. So we've got to be really clear on what it is we're doing and spending our time towards. Plus our day-to-day and like our health and well-being are absolutely on there.
Right.
So for, so for example, going out on a Monday night, staying out until 10, 11 p.m. and then waking up at 4 in the morning, like, does that go towards our health and wellness and our love? For ourselves, no, not.
Not all the time.
Not all the time. Sometimes. And so there's discussion.
Yeah. Sometimes we're like, yes, and this will be worth it to stay out till 1, 2, in the morning and so to get up. And then other times we're like, we can do this tomorrow or Thursday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday or every day.
Yeah. And
not have to do it tonight.
Yeah.
So
we discuss that and we manifest that. We have a shared calendar.
Yes. Yes. We actually will talk about that. That'll be a segment we'll do, is on tools that help your relationship, help the communication in your relationship, and help you stay organized in your relationship to make your relationship easier and function smoother. Toolbox. Ann and Dorian's Toolbox.
Start to picture your box. What does it look like?
Picturing your box.
You got a good picture of that box. It's changed shape in the past month.
I see that. Okay. We need a box. We need to get a toy box. Anyway.
Yes. If any of you know of a big toy box for sex toys and lube that's nondescript, that's cute, not too industrial, that we can have in our bedroom.
Yeah.
We've got lots of toys.
Our universalforce@gmail.com. Email us. We will definitely say thank you and check out your suggestions, because we need to find something. Yeah. Our universalforce@gmail.com. Yes. Thank you. All right. Shameless plugs all the way. Tools. We need to talk about that. Ann and Dorian's Toolbox. We'll add that as a segment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll do. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll talk about the calendar one in a minute and later on.
Yeah, and you're always welcome to write to us and ask questions if something pops up for you.
Please do. We like questions and we like to answer questions. Let's talk about. We talked about why we wanted to do this podcast. We did mention, yes, we do go to a relationship therapist. That was something that a family member suggested, or not even suggested, said that they did.
Right. And
pretty early on in our relationship, we were just like, we're going to do whatever we can to make this work. And so we heard that and we were like, that's not a bad idea to have someone in our corner that's going to help us, even though we're not having any problems or anything like that we need to. We're humans, everyone has problems, but there's nothing immediate that's endangering our relationship. But having someone, a coach, like a sports player or a trainer, sports players all the time want to be great, and they need a coach or a trainer in order to get them great. So we want to be great, helping us to looking at us and telling us the things that we may not see as the people performing in this relationship. Really has been helpful. We enjoy our guide. Yeah. I'll give a shout out to them.
Yeah.
North Brooklyn Family and Marriage Therapy. Yes. North Brooklyn Family and Marriage Therapy. That's where we go.
Only remember that because we plug it into our
our Uber and our search.
And our Google
and then
search.
Google search, figuring out, we got to get there from here, go for it.
What's the name of this place?
What's the name of the place? Yes, so we do.
They're
Great. Appreciate. Thank you. Appreciate it. Email us. We can let you know someone who you can recommend from there.
Yeah.
That's really good. We appreciate it. Also, let's give a shout out since tomorrow is Father's Day.
Yeah.
Let's give a shout out to dads.
Oh my God,
plural.
you?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let's give a shout out to dads. And I'm not talking about myself. I am a dad, but I'm not shouting out myself. I'm shouting out all the other dads. Somebody else can shout out me.
What do you want to say?
I just want to say to all the dads that are trying, congratulations. It's a day to you. I hope your loved ones appreciate you. Keep trying. Keep working hard. Keep showing what it is to be a man. Showing what it is to be a father. If you're a husband or a boyfriend or a lover or whoever you are, keep doing that also. Being a dad doesn't just mean being a dad to your biological kids. It doesn't just mean being a dad to your stepkids. It doesn't just mean being a dad to your partner's children or whoever. It's being a dad to everyone. It goes greater than the immediate need. So keep doing it. Keep setting examples.
Thanks, Daddy.
Yeah. And we want to give a shout out to our dads.
Yeah.
Pops and pops who got to meet.
Oh
so
my God, they
let's
met.
talk about that. So
well, hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I just want to say, since we're talking Father's Day,
go ahead.
our dads got to meet 3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, 3.
2 or 3 weeks ago for the first time. And we weren't there when they... We did a little bit of communication.
Mom was here actually this is for Mother's Day. That mom was here.
We'll go backwards in story.
Yeah.
This is our Father's Day present. This is our Parents' Day present to us that they did for us. Was that Ann's parents were visiting from home from Colorado. Yeah. I'm gonna throw it out there. Ann's parents were visiting from Colorado for Mother's Day. We had already kind of heard, I believe. Did we know that my mom was going to be out in Colorado?
Yeah.
We kind of knew that my mom was going to be visiting Georgia and then visiting Colorado on a trip. And so we were kind of like, I don't know if we came up with the idea or... Yeah, I think we came up with the idea. We were like, that would be cute if when my mom's in Colorado, we can link up. So I have an uncle and aunt out in Colorado, so she was visiting him. And so we were like, let's do that. We think we mentioned it. We mentioned it to Ann's mom when they were here for Mother's Day, and then texted. We did a group text with Ann, myself, my mom, Ann's mom, and said, hey, Mom, when you're out in Colorado, this is Ann's mom. Group text, yay. If you guys can hook up and meet, blah, blah, blah. And we kind of just laughed at that. And they communicated, group text, whatever. Then we're out on, so this happens. It's not for like.
We find out they're meeting up.
Yeah, we knew that they talked a little bit, but it was going to be like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Or something like that. We heard that they were going to do it, but we didn't really we were leaving that up to them. We weren't going to influence it. And then we're sitting out having drinks in Williamsburg with a bunch of friends. And we get this text from my uncle who was out with them. And Ann's parents, my mom and dad, and my uncle and aunt all got together at a restaurant for brunch. And they sent us pictures. And it was awesome.
So sweet.
So our parents got to meet in between Mother's Day and Father's Day, which was beautiful.
Parents' Day.
It was awesome. So we're sweet. So happy. Shout out to both our dads. Shout out to both our moms.
Amazing. Aunts and uncles.
Great aunts and uncles. Great parents.
The greater family that's existing now.
Yeah. All of that. So
special.
Yes.
And big, and I'd love to give a shout out to the dads.
Yep.
For, I can't imagine, I can imagine and know as a daughter and a future wife.
Yes.
To a dad with kids.
Yes.
That just the unconditional love you have for kids is incredible for people being this, having the strong, powerful dynamic that you play out in your life, but also being sensitive to a woman and her needs is just amazing. So thanks for playing out the duality day after day.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're a beautiful woman. I wouldn't want to do anything less.
Thank you.
Beautiful inside and out, as I like to say.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Did happy Father's Day. Thank you.
Happy Father's
Day, Father's Day to everybody. Let's actually get into some topics.
Okay.
We're going to use technology. We were saying that we need a whiteboard.
We have a list.
We have a
digital
list. A digital list. So we're reading off of a digital list, but we do want to get a whiteboard.
Add our tools to that
Tools.
segment.
Ooh, tools.
And then we'll talk about that later. And then you all can stay tuned for our toolbox of tools.
Toolbox. Tools. And...
Beyond our tools of toys in the bedroom.
And
which
we're going to...
can help us with.
Yes. Ann and Dorian's
And once we
Toolbox.
get those tools, we'll share those tools over here.
Yeah, I like
on
that.
On the microphone.
Done. Ann and Dorian's Toolbox. Some of the ideas that we want to discuss, let's give you this. The reason for this podcast, two sexy people,
Hey.
self-proclaimed and told otherwise, too, told the same, exploring what it is to be in a relationship and the tools we use to support this.
Okay.
That's a nice, like...
Well, that's like the toolbox deal,
It's
right?
Toolbox deal. It's Toolbox deal. Okay, it's a Toolbox deal.
So we'll give you that.
We'll give you that.
On this journey.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about something fun. Yay, fun things. We are going to discuss Vegas.
Oh, shit.
Because we just got back from Vegas. Woo!
Happens in Vegas.
Does not stay in
known.
Vegas. Must be known.
Why not?
Stays in Vegas. The same shit we do in Brooklyn.
Basically.
Basically.
Just on a larger scale. They've
Larger
got so
scale.
much land.
Much more land.
Much
and
more land.
Much warmer.
Yeah.
Much warmer. So we're going to talk about Vegas.
A lot of the Vegas places are also in New York. A lot of the Vegas.
Yeah.
A lot of the restaurants.
Truth.
The shopping.
Truth. Yep.
The stores.
Yeah, we're in New York. Yeah. I mean, and I'm going to say this. I want to mention this. If you live in somewhere other than a major city, and if you live in somewhere other than New York, we do a little bit take for granted the fact that we live here and everything is within 10 square miles. We can do everything we want for the most part every day. Mm-hmm. So we do a little bit take that for granted because when we go to places, we're like, oh, we have that here. We have that at home. We have that at home. So our experiences are a little bit different. We can party till 4 every night.
Right.
We can do everything from like running around inside subway tunnels to like hopping on a private plane or helicopter or
We
boat.
don't do either of those things.
We don't do
yet.
either of those things, but I'm saying those are our spectrums.
So when we go places, so we went to Vegas.
Right.
We were in the cab on our way home, and the driver was like, "Okay, back to reality." So I think that depicts Dorian's point here, in that we looked at each other that moment. We're like, this is our reality. We're not going back to reality. What we just did is our reality.
Right. Yeah.
And then we were staying at the Mirage. What up? Great hotel. Beautiful. We really enjoyed the pool.
Shout out to Mirage. We'll give you some 5 stars.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The bear pool.
Bear pool. Bear and not bear, BEAR. BARE.
Topless pool.
European style.
Yeah.
Adult pool.
Yeah. So boobies. Men and women.
Yes. As it should be, because men's boobies are always out everywhere.
They're beautiful.
They're beautiful,
I love
but they're
touching
out
your boobies.
everywhere. Yeah.
So women, we get to bust free.
Yeah. American style is men's boobies out. European style is all boobies out.
Oh, I never knew that.
I don't know. I'm making that up. But
Oh. Well,
but it's kind of how it works.
Well, this was abstract to that then.
Yeah.
Because we were in America.
We're in America.
With boobies out.
Oh, yes. It was lovely.
So there was a couple that had said something about them only doing these type of activities. You know what? You explain this. They were only doing these particular activities because they were on vacation in Vegas.
They said we only do this. They were out at the pool. We were out at the pool, and they were chilling. There were lots of couples at the pool, and they were talking to another couple, and they were like, "Oh, we only party like this when we're in Vegas," or something to that nature. And it struck me because I was like, "No, we kind of do. We actually are going to bed way earlier." Because we're in Vegas, we're sleeping more. We do live this kind of life regularly. Will we go out? We go to events? We go to parties? We go to clubs? We go to dinners? We go stay in hotels in New York. We don't just, or even locally. So it was interesting thinking about that nature, that when people go visit places like Vegas, a lot of times it's their escape from their reality. Where ours, it's kind of included in our reality. Weather different. New York weather isn't great between October and July.
So you don't want to go out as much.
Yeah,
but you still do, and it's still at your disposal.
You still do. We're still on the balcony. We're still out on rooftops. We're still out in parks. We're still out walking the streets and eating outdoors and eating in restaurants outside and everything like that. We don't have the pool scene like they do. So that's what we're missing. I think the biggest thing is the pool scene hasn't quite invaded New York like it is in Miami.
Mr. Purple has that pool.
Mr. Purple has that pool. There's a decent amount of hotel rooftop pools.
We should explore those.
We need to do a little bit more of that to see, because maybe we have, because Vail has one. William Vail has one.
So does the McCarran Park Hotel.
Yeah. So there are some pools. There's some in Midtown, I know, as well. There's probably one at the hotel we went to. What was the hotel we went to that was in Brooklyn Heights on the Promenade? In Brooklyn Bridge Park.
Brooklyn Heights.
Was that the Brooklyn Bridge Park Hotel? The one that
Brooklyn Bridge Hotel.
When we went walking like 3 Saturdays ago.
Hotel.
The hotel that had the little shop that you got that we got the green vitamin pills. And
the one hotel. Up in Dumbo.
Yeah, Dumbo. Yeah, was it Dumbo?
Dumbo.
Okay.
Right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Was that Dumbo?
No, Brooklyn Heights.
Brooklyn Heights, because that was the Manhattan Bridge.
Yeah, it was Promenade. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is a party scene here, but we'll go back to Vegas. So Vegas, what we like about, well, I'll say what I like about Vegas. What I like about Vegas is, one, the weather. It's warm, sunny. It's no rain. I'm not looking for rain. I don't have to, I don't have to wake up and go, is it going to rain today? Is it not going to rain today? No, it's going to be sunny. It's great. It's warm, so I know what to prepare for. For the most part, everyone who is there, other than the people who work there, are tourists on vacation. That's it. So everyone's in the same frame of mind. Every person you see is a tourist on vacation wanting to have a good time or gamble, whatever they want to do. So it's kind of nice because there's a like mindset. Doesn't matter where you're from. Doesn't matter who you are, what you do. We're all trying to do the same thing. Where I like that, because maybe that's how it feels at a resort or something like that. But this is the whole city's like that. It's great. And then the people who work in the industry also all work in hospitality. So everyone's in the hospitality industry. So it's just it's almost one type of interaction you get to have the entire time.
It's one need and one offering. It's one need and one offering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's great. So you're in the same mindset. It's easy. That was good. Also, weed is legal recreationally in Vegas, which is an amazing thing. The dispensaries are off the hook. We went to Planet 13.
So many.
Which was super nice. And
Huge.
We went to...
It's like a museum for bud.
What was the other one? The other one was good too, though.
Reef.
No, we didn't go to Reef. We saw Reef from our window. It wasn't Maidman.
Oh, it's right there. It's on the tube. We're actually smoking some of their finest. They hooked us up with this doobie for my birthday.
I don't know. It didn't tell me. But we are smoking some. I don't know if we're smoking.
This is a king palm paper that they had.
Yeah.
And then they had this flower.
Yeah, we're not smoking the pre-roll. We're smoking something we did. But yeah, it was another dispensary. Shout out. We'll figure out. Once we'll look at our notes and we'll shout you out another time. But dispensary was great. Had a great time. So weed's legal. Open carry. So you can, and open carry meaning alcohol. You can grab your drink, walk down the strip, walk wherever, grab a drink at the hotel bar, move.
I don't think we even did.
We didn't
really.
We were
going out to bars.
When we were walking, we were like
walking.
And we'd pop in and get a bar, get a drink, keep moving. Yeah.
It's that freedom.
Freedom. I won't let you down. Freedom.
No.
No rules. Pool scene is amazing. Can't say enough about that. It's great. They know how to take care of a pool. Service was good. We didn't go anywhere that was like 1 billion people either. We were like 200 people max, or we were at pool wise. Restaurants were amazing. We had great dinners. Shout out to Mizumi inside of the Wynn. We had a great dinner there.
Waterfall.
And shout out to the recommendation for that too. Don't say who, but awesome. Thank you. We appreciate that. Yeah, we had Kobe beef, waterfall. We didn't drink a waterfall. But we sat next to a waterfall.
We heard the waterfall.
Watched the waterfall with the legs. Beautiful. We had, what else did we eat?
I had scotch that night. Nice and full.
Yeah, we had some good food. I don't remember what we ate, but besides
what did we have? Yeah, I don't really remember that either.
We share a salad.
Shit,
I don't remember. Anyway, it was really good. Food was great. So shout out to them. We had dinner at sushi down there at the Mirage. Okayaki.
Good. Yeah, we had the surf and turf roll.
Yeah, that was really good.
I don't know the name. Something like that.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan.
Obayaki or something. And then we had the steak place that's there too. Can't think of the name. We're really bad. We didn't remember. We should have wrote down all of these things. But we watched the Warriors Raptors game, and we'll give a congratulations to the Raptors for winning the finals. We're not fans of Golden State or the Raptors. We are Nuggets and Lakers. So we were Lakers been out of it since like halfway through the season. Denver made it into the playoffs. They played so good.
Oh, it was so
got beat by
exciting.
Portland. And then Portland got their butts kicked in by the Warriors. Like, what is going on? And then the Warriors got their butts kicked in by the Raptors. So it's just...
We're happy for a good game.
Yeah, it was great games.
Hoping the players can have a nice long career.
Yeah, anybody who got injured, get feel better. If you happen to want to come and talk to Dr. Ann.
Yeah, right.
Our Universal Force at gmail.com. If you need a trainer that's going to help you rehabilitate yourself, she'll take care of you. So that's my Vegas, and we got to see family and friends too, so that was wonderful as well. Yeah. We also got to go to a nice little sexual nudist retreat spa thing.
Yeah, it was like a day. It's like a pool. Outdoor pool.
Outdoor pool. It was wonderful. Good trees and life. So that's Vegas. So we just went to Vegas. That was our Vegas. That was my summary of Vegas. We went to the gym.
It's all very clear to me.
It's all very clear to you. So Ann, how was your Vegas experience? Now, and I'll say this: I go to Vegas every year, sometimes twice a year. And tell us about how many times you've been to Vegas now, including this one?
Twice.
Okay, and it was many years. You weren't of drinking age when you went the first time.
No, I was a youngin'. I was there for a dance competition.
Right.
By the way, we won Nationals Division 2
whoop, whoop.
with hip hop.
Yeah.
You better believe this is the only hip hop routine.
Get some.
That's right. Oh God, I gotta find that recording.
Ooh, okay.
We were good.
Yeah.
Ooh, that piece was good.
Showing off in Vegas. What hotel did you stay at for that?
The Flamingo.
Yeah. Flamingo's still there.
Yeah, Mom and I went.
Oh, nice. Shout out to Mom.
This was like
taking Ann on her
this
adventures.
was a long time ago.
Yeah,
this was like over 10 years ago.
Gotcha. I hear you.
So things had changed. Things were different this time around.
A little bit, right?
A little bit. My favorite part was, and this happened too in Miami when we went to South Beach, was lying on a bed in nature. Come on.
Yeah.
Under shade, because I need that for my light skin to enjoy all that time I want to spend out under the sky. That is my favorite part. And with my man next to me,
boom,
it's just the hottest thing, and then watching him swim, and I could just like order my what was I drinking? I had pina coladas.
Yeah.
and lots of water.
Lots of water.
The margaritas, those are two of my favorites.
Yes.
So I'm not going to give you our address.
No.
But if you see us out, you can order me one of those, and I will not be sad.
Nope. If you see us out, order us a margarita. We'll be all about it. We will thank you and cheers you.
I'd love
Shout you out.
Yeah. I love when we show up to our destination, how we just like made our little home in there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I love that. I loved waking up in the morning with you, Dorian, doing workouts.
Yes.
That
Got
was
some
fun.
gym time in.
Just like
early.
did our own thing, you know.
6 a.m. gym
It was
times.
so good. You know, we're waking up so early. We're just still on East Coast time. So we're 3 hours behind.
Yeah.
So we were up and at 'em. We went to the gym. Then we went to the downstairs. There were a couple different restaurants. There was the Carnegie Deli, which we hit up a few times.
Boom. Shout out to Carnegie Deli.
And then the other restaurant that was open 24 hours. Park. So we'd have breakfast, and then we'd go for a walk.
Yeah.
We'd walk the strip, pick up some bottles of water.
Stretch our legs.
Walk into the malls before everyone was there and before we did shopping that we didn't necessarily want to do because we could do it elsewhere.
All right.
In our beautiful city. Super Metro.
And it was nice being like out before it got to 100 degrees.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's when we were by the pool.
Yes.
Chilling in the shade on a bed.
Mm-hmm.
Cold water swimming in.
Woo.
And our aunt joined us one of the days.
Yeah.
My mom's best friend.
Yeah.
Shout out to the nurses in Boulder, Colorado.
Boom.
1970s. Fun time.
Fun times.
So she's retired. She lives there now. And
Nice.
she had some time with us. Loved our meals.
Yeah. I like
We had a great meal, too. Dual birthday with my cousin.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was nice. What was the restaurant? It was in the D Hotel, the D Casino.
It started with an A. A great old Italian restaurant. Ooh, it was good. That meatball was off the hook.
Or something like that.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah, the D Hotel, though. Nice steakhouse. Great Caesar salad. Make it fresh at your table. We got
fish.
We got a giant porterhouse. Was it porterhouse we got?
Porterhouse.
Big porterhouse to share.
And then what was the fish?
What
It was a white flaky fish.
Yes. Was it a sea bass? It was a sea bass, yeah.
That's right.
So good.
Tasty, delicious.
I think we did the meatballs too.
That meatball.
Oh, meatballs.
Off
Giant
the
meatballs.
hook
So
with this
good.
cream on top. What was that? Never had
super
that.
Good. Super good. No, it was
That
perfect.
ricotta.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
No, it was great. Great espressos.
We had
Some
a
wine.
blast.
Yeah.
Unexpectedly fell asleep when we got back to the hotel.
That was
We're supposed to catch a fabulous show
FABOLOUS.
over at Dre's.
Yes. But we fell asleep. And then it got canceled anyway. So that was
So
wonderful.
it wasn't too bad. And we got our sleep.
We got our sleep. We were up the next day, ready to rock.
So we drank so much water.
Yeah.
We stayed so well hydrated.
Yeah. We were in the bathroom.
I mean, my hangovers lasted like 10, 15 minutes in the morning.
Yeah, it was bad. It wasn't bad.
If even.
If even, yeah. Yeah, we didn't stay up late any of the nights.
We
We weren't wandering the strip at 3 a.m.
No.
4 a.m., 5 a.m., anything like that. 7 a.m., 8 a.m. after the gym we were, but not at 4. Yeah, no.
And there wasn't even residual debauchery.
No, there was no residual debauchery.
It was clean.
It was pretty good. We did not do anything that we were like, oh.
I felt like I was the dirty one.
Yeah.
Smoking joints.
We were so tame in Vegas.
We
Well,
were so tame.
nah, we were just doing what we normally do. Yeah. You're like, oh, we could do all this shit here.
Yeah, we blended in.
We blended in very nicely. Yeah. No craziness. So yeah, that was a Vegas trip. Oh,
Yeah.
we went to Zumanity.
Zumanity. That was hot. Oh my God. Amazing.
Hot.
Whoa. I'm learning how to use the mics. I'm with a professional. Thank God. He set this up in like 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, man. Been doing this my whole life.
Simple.
Simple. Tech. Genius. Not really. Sound engineer, yes.
Extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire.
Wizard.
The wizard. The white wizard. The white wizard roams free. He sees all. Zumanity was awesome. Great show. Worth going to see. There's plenty of other Cirque du Soleil shows too to go see, so try to see them all.
Humanity was naked. It was nude.
Topless.
Oh, right. It was topless.
Yeah.
Topless and butt. You saw butts. And
some butts. Some booty cheeks.
Yeah.
And they involved the audience. It's cute. It's very nice. It's a good time. Good show. Over at New York, New York.
Yeah, which was cute.
New York, New York.
We got corn dog, hot dog before the show.
New York with corn dogs and hot dogs. So that was Vegas. All right. We're going to take a break.
Toolboxes? Oh, you want to take a break? Okay.
Yeah, take a break. And Toolboxes next?
Yeah,
I want to get some more water.
This is our second half.
Talking about get some
We're
more
almost
water.
done.
I know. We're about to be done. All right. Hold on. Don't forget, if you have questions, comments, anything like that, our universal force at gmail.com. And the website is Our Universal Force. We will eventually have some links to the shows, links to great places. We do recommendations on all kinds of things, not just in New York, all around everywhere we go. We concierge and many more. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. And we're back. Welcome to the final segment of episode 1 of Ann and Dorian's Our Universal Force podcast. If you haven't figured it out. Thanks for tuning back in. Right now, we're going to do a segment that will be weekly or episodely. Every episode. Episode-y. And that has to deal with tools, Ann and Dorian's Toolbox. Tools that we have found help in your relationship, whether it's communication-wise or sexually, or just help to make the 2 of you or 3 of you or whatever your relationship is, because we are equal opportunity relationship holders. We happen to be in a... Yeah, let's talk about it. Before we do our toolbox. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's just explain our relationship too.
Okay, right.
Right. So our toolbox may be very hetero, monogamous, sexual tools, but in the end of the day, we do also do other things outside of that. So we are very supportive of whatever type of relationship you're in. So we talk a lot of like him and her and him, or husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. That's just because that's what we are. And it's just easier to keep it exactly explain what we are. But whatever your relationships are, whatever you're dating, married, whatever your boy, girl, whatever your preferences, whether you're a throuple or a foursome or just single, not just single, whether you're single and experiencing life in different forms of relationships, in or out or not,
or want to manifest a relationship.
Yeah, whatever it is.
These are all tools for all of you listeners to discover what you may have in a relationship, or what you could have in a relationship, or as you start to think about what might impact and influence your relationship.
Right.
And these are just things that worked for us.
Right, exactly. So, no preferences, anything like that. We are enjoying being able to share our experience. So, some of these toolbox items we're going to share will be useful. I think all of them are useful.
Absolutely.
But take them and...
They've worked for us.
Yes. And then you can take them and twist them and mold them in whatever way that works for you.
We might be doing that ourselves.
Yeah, we definitely take ideas from everybody else. We see something, we're like, and we're doing that.
And our tools change too.
Yeah, changes based off of need and want and
sometimes
experience.
They get more, quote, modern or refined. Just like that Gemini kit.
That Gemini kit. Yes, so you'll use these tools. Enjoy them. We'll also add things to the website too about the tools if we mention a website or mention something that could be useful. Maybe we'll even get fancy and put some pictures up of things. We also will take ideas at Our Universal Force at gmail.com of tools that you use. If you have any tools that you would like to share that has worked for you, or questions about things we mentioned,
we'll try them.
Yeah,
we'll consider it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you for listening once again. So, Ann and Dorian's Toolbox. What tool are we going to talk about today?
Scheduler.
We want to talk about a calendar.
calendar.
Yes.
But then our last thing, we were just brainstorming these lists, and we came up with multiple.
Right.
And we're not going to disclose all of them, but there was another one too, all day foreplay.
All day foreplay. So that's good. I like
fun
that.
One. Okay.
So one will be more of a communicating, relationship, scheduling thing, and then one is going to be
logistical.
Yeah, logistical. And then one is going to be totally just how to stay hot all day for each other. We'll do the scheduling one first, because that one we probably, even though all day foreplay we use all day.
With the schedule.
Yeah, that one was pretty good
early on.
So what we did is that we pretty early on decided that because we both live very busy lives and our calendar, we try to do everything we can together, which isn't for everyone, I understand, but for us it totally works.
We want to do that in order to get to know each other better, and also we like seeing each other in each other's like habitat.
Yeah, element. Yeah, in each other's space or wheelhouse. Yeah, agreed.
So what we started doing, and also we realized if we don't schedule something, just very generally speaking, it doesn't happen.
Right.
So because we're ideas people, if we talk about doing something, we really just want to plug it in and make sure, make sure we do it so we can experience it.
Because something will get filled in that space.
Someone or something.
We constantly, even if we make no plans and we chill, plans come to us and things come at us every day. So it's constantly something to do.
Do we have time for this? Can we fit this in?
Right. So many times multiple things in a day, which many people have busy lives, but we decided that since we want to do as much as we can together, and we have work, we have
crew.
Yeah, we have crew stuff. We also have self-betterment things that we do, like classes and courses.
Therapy appointments.
Right. Workouts. So we decided, let's share it. We were putting things individually in our own calendars because we lived by our calendars for the most part individually. So we said, let's make a shared calendar. And I know people have calendars for work and for this and for that, but the shared calendar, what we also decided is that we are going to accept whatever the other person puts in the calendar if the time is free. And that was something that we kind of discovered. First, we were like messaging, being like, hey, this is popping up on this day. Would you want to do it? And we were like, yeah, sure, whatever. It
takes too much extra time.
And it was a lot of extra time since we were saying yes to everything anyway. It came down to like, well, we have similar styles of interests in the sense that
it's all working on the same.
It works kind of very similar. Yeah, we kind of like to do the same basic things, but
it's working towards the same mission.
Right, working towards the same mission, and we're supportive of each other's friends and family and lives and work. So, we were just started putting things in the calendar. We was like, let's just share the calendar. And we were slowly adding things. And then we were just like, no, not just share this calendar. So we were using Google Calendar to give you a little bit more detail. You used Google Calendar at first, but we're both iPhone users. So there is also iCalendar, which is part of it. So Ann used iCalendar more regularly. I used Google Calendar more regularly. We both used Gmail.
It was just because it was like a button push
right.
thing.
It was a button push thing.
Like a couple buttons to push, and that was simple.
Right. So we switched from Google Calendar. We used Google Calendar for the first month or two, and then, or maybe even longer, and then we switched over to the Apple Calendar.
You were so generous to do that.
Yeah. And so Apple Calendar was new for me. I had used it before, and I had moved off to Gmail because I use Gmail for everything else. So the iCalendar works well. We have a shared iCalendar, and we just fill in the days. Now, we do have a schedule. So as we were talking about a little bit earlier in the show, Monday nights we like to chill and stay home.
Let's go back. Because in the beginning, right, where we went before, was we didn't necessarily have said off time. So we had these openings, our schedule, and we were just filling them with all these opportunities, things we wanted to do, hangouts and pursuits others wanted to have with us too.
Right.
And so henceforth, we put in what Dorian's speaking to, an off day, a stay-at-home night, which is our Monday night.
Right. So we have a Monday night we stay at home. So we block that off in the calendar. So we know not to do anything in those days. Tuesday night's a free night, whatever we want to do. So whoever one of us wants to put something in, we'll talk about things too. If nothing pops up, we'll schedule whatever. Class but Tuesday night's kind of a freebie. If anything's going on, we're supportive of each other, whether it's a together thing or it's something with solo friends or whatever it is. Tuesday nights are a freebie. Wednesday nights are date nights. We block that off. We typically we moved it. Yeah, so it's hump day. Used to be a different day. Now it's Wednesday. Wednesday nights are date night. We're not letting anything interfere with our date night, except if it's a couple thing that we're doing together, like going to visit our therapist or scheduling something that's going to be a date activity, like a class or something like that. That's going to be fun to do, or a massage, going to get a couple's massage. So part of a date night thing, but always date night.
I didn't tell you that my doctor wanted to schedule a Wednesday night. I said no. I know. That's right.
Go, Ann.
I almost wanted to say yes because I knew it was my health, and I know that's priority for us. But I was like, no, that's date night.
Date night. Thank you.
Dorian and Ann.
Well, thank you for doing that. I appreciate that.
Andy.
So
Thursday night, we wanted to have, so we're getting married next year, and a big part of our marriage and this reason of this celestial relationship is our friends and our families. We couldn't do this without them. And we love our home. We have great style, and we have so much fun here. We have an incredible sound system, huge bar, patio, plants. Yeah. It's awesome.
Nature and bud, and booze, and music.
Yeah, so Thursday night's open house format. We have people over, and one of my friends called it a saloon. Or salon. No, he says salon.
Oh, salon.
Yeah, which is a little fancier. I kind of like saloon a little more.
We should get the little doors, the little wood doors when you first walk up the stairs. We're like, oh, welcome to the saloon. Yeah.
We provide the drinks.
Exactly, and the entertainment.
Yeah, and our friends come, and whoever can come.
Yeah, hang out, do whatever. Chill. So Friday nights, some Friday nights I DJ, and then we go out afterwards. So either we'll DJ and Ann.
Hey, yo.
Just this past Friday.
Just last night.
Got on the tables, got to spin like 20 records, 30 records?
Yeah, 45.
Yeah, so all 45s, doing vinyl. So all of you DJs out there, just take notice. Ann's on the scene, spinning 45s, spinning vinyl.
Lots of lessons learned. Yep.
Great job. Amazing job.
To see people react to your sound, like, see people dance is the coolest thing. You feel like you are a mind controller.
Woo, you are.
Yeah, it's so
mood
cool.
and mind controller. You can clear the floor, clear the bar, clear the room, or invite people in.
It's amazing.
Do lots of things.
It's amazing.
Lots of things.
That's my sinister treat. It was very fun too.
DJ Bam. DJ Bomb. I like it. So Friday nights we tend to go out. We DJ. We invite everyone to come out to whatever parties we're at, and then we go out dancing on Friday nights. So we'll go out partying and dancing. Sometimes with people over in between that, because it's a late night, it can easily be like a 2, 3, 4 a.m. night, depending on what's going on. Saturdays is kind of a freebie. We kind of like plan things, don't plan things, schedule things, don't schedule things,
mostly how
we have a lot of Saturday nights free where we're like out and about in the city. We love our city, so we love New York. So there's so much to go do and see and party here.
Yeah.
Whether it's going to a nice restaurant or going to movies or going to strip club or going to jazz club or going to wandering, or if friends are in town or whatever anyone's doing, we'll just kind of do. And so we leave that open. And so if there is something that gets filled into the calendar, since we're talking about a tool, which is a calendar, if someone wants to put something in the calendar for those days, we block off times and do it all on our calendar. And then Sundays, we have yoga every Sunday at 12:30. And then we typically... We have dance practice sometimes for Ann and her crew. So on Sunday nights... That's been the most. Shout out to Ladies Adios.
3 years strong. representing all corners of the globe.
Running it.
Celebrating diversity and manifesting the divine feminine and masculine. And we love bringing men into our circle and inviting them to open up and play.
Wow.
And we have an event that celebrates that called a Jam Called Tribe.
Shout out to Ladies Adios Jam Called Tribe.
Which also benefits greater populations that aren't necessarily associated with our dance and party life club scene, but who are in need of some benefit. So this year we're contributing to the youth who want to be leaders in this world.
Yep.
Who are people of color, who are underrepresented and served. Okay, so that Inroads, shout out to Inroads. And then I'm not going to disclose yet the shelter, but also for women who are survivors of domestic violence.
Right. Yeah. Very important.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's this year's contribution. You can check us out, though, for more info.
Ladies Adios.
Ladies Adios, a Jam Called Tribe.
We'll have the information on our Universal Force website as well, our universalforce.com. But you can email us at ouruniversalforce@gmail.com for any questions or if you want to know more.
That's our week. That's our toolbox.
That's our toolbox, yep. So calendar, share your calendar. Share your calendar with your partner or partners and leave it if you can, if you're able to. The greatest part of that is being free to let each other book things in the calendar. If we have the calendar and no one puts anything in, or everyone's scared to book things, or everyone complains about the things booked, that's not going to help. The helpful part is being giving and willing of yourself, that if you have things you need to do, you add it to the calendar. If you have a class, if you have meditation time, if you have things you need to do for yourself, time you got to visit family or friends or whatever it is, put it in the calendar. It doesn't mean your partner needs to be there with you. It just means to know that everyone knows how your time is going to be spent. And then it means that the time that isn't blocked off, and have agreed times where you need to get to bed on certain days a week, and communicate all that out. And then whatever's in the space that isn't used by those times, plan things with each other, plan things for each other. A friend of yours is like, hey, we're going out for drinks, you two should come. Put it in the calendar if the time's free, and then everyone knows, and it's easy to see what's going on. It really, really helps our weeks feel like this is our time. And then the other things that go around that, like work and other, yes, you have to do that. You do those things, but you have a good view of how you're spending your time together. And if you notice that, wow, this week it's like, I have this, you have that, we have this. We didn't schedule any time for each other. You can see it laid out on the calendar, and then you could block it in.
Yeah, that's because date night.
You have to do that. You have to schedule time for each other, or schedule time for picking up laundry, or schedule time for going and doing whatever errands you do. Put it all in there and share that calendar so you have a good view. There's no miscommunication. And you can look back and be like, oh, you know what? Or look forward and go, you know what? Wow, we have a lot of this scheduled this time for later in the month. Maybe we need to block some just chill and not do anything time.
Stay at home night.
Stay at home weekend. Yeah, whatever it is. So use a calendar, share the calendar. It makes communicating easier. It really makes how you spend your time. I think you'll get more out of your time. And even if it's sleep time, even if it's like, okay, on Saturday, we're not getting out of bed till 1. Put that in there. Block that stuff off. Just like let it.
Bedtime's important.
Yeah. I like to be free. I like to schedule time to just to not have any responsibility time. For me, it's great to have that dick around time. Just wander. But I need to block off that time. Even though I want to have it, it doesn't mean that it's not without limits or controls of when and where and how.
So that's the intention.
Yes, exactly. And we love it. So that's a tool. The other tool, we're off that, so it's calendars.
Oh, we're doing 3 tools?
We're doing the second one was going to be on...
Oh, God, all day foreplay.
All day foreplay. Yeah, we haven't talked about that yet. So that's the fun one. So now we'll get into sexual side of things a little bit. And you probably won't wait this long to get into the sexual side of most podcasts, but this is the inaugural one.
Formal. Yeah,
we're giving you some background stuff. We'll get into all the other stuff later. But today, all day...
Foreplay.
Yes. So, Ann.
Forever. I just wanted to do that.
You just want to do forever. So, Ann, how about you tell us what you feel all day foreplay means? What is all day foreplay?
Well, it's an expression of your deepest desires throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
So from the moment we wake up and touch each other's skin, kiss, and smack each other's ass or check each other out. So it might be just, where we're in each other's physical space and seeing each other and being turned on by that, or physically touching each other in the morning, afternoon. If we're lucky enough to see each other in the afternoon, we have work, throughout the day. So then there's, text messages or sending each other photos. This day and age, even little emojis, just something to show your affection. It contributes to that sexual exchange throughout the day, and it's constant. And there's certainly a build-up and excitement that happens throughout, and it keeps my imagination going. And then at night, we see each other. All of that yearning comes to a pause, and we get to manifest and be together. And it continues on, we get to then touch each other and put our imagination into play a bit more. There's a digital card game called Spicer that we use.
Oh yeah, shout out to Spicer. Cute.
Yeah, it's super cute. It has so many prompts. I mean, several hundred. We've already been through. There are these cards, and that you flip through. They have a new set of questions, and we're assigned to our profiles towards each other. So they have these set of questions, and you thumbs up, maybe it, or thumbs down it. So these various prompts.
It could be as sexual as have sex outdoors. Thumbs up, thumbs down, this or maybe this. Or it could be like send a naughty message to your partner, or dress provocatively for your partner. Have your partner dress provocatively. Role play. So all these different ideas, and every day it comes up with it. There's a bunch of them. And then if you go through all the ones that it has, it releases like a few every day of new ones. And you can thumbs up. If you both thumbs it up, that means it's something you both want to do.
File.
Right. You can see what each other likes and doesn't like. But also you can challenge each other to do like you dare each other to do one of those within 24 hours. And after you do them, you can set the ones that you've done as completed and see which ones you've actually done and which ones are still on your list. Yeah, so it's a cute game. I think it was a free app on iTunes or an Apple App Store or whatever it's called.
We'll talk a little bit later about the card game that we created.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Epic cards. We'll discuss that. We'll have a whole episode just on epic consent cards. So all day foreplay.
What about that? So what is that to you then, Shram? What is that to you then, Dorian?
All day foreplay to me, as you mentioned, starts from the time, at least for me, starts with the time I wake up. And it is all the little things I do to show you my affection for you, to kind of have you craving my touch, have you craving my voice, whether it's the first kiss in the morning, to telling you how beautiful you look, to caressing your neck or your shoulder or your leg, and all day, just doing these things all day, not just in preparation for having sex or fucking or making love. It's not just going down and doing oral or playing with your pussy or something like that. It's little things all day, a picture, a word, something sexually attentive towards you, but little things that kind of entice you and get you craving, so that when we do have space and time, whether it's 5 minutes or an hour or 2 hours or whatever, to really engage fully into some sexual experience, we've been building your body up, building your mind up and your heart up for wanting it. So, and sometimes that happens right away, happens later on. Yes, exactly. The mic is a very phallic instrument.
We're playing,
very
we're
phallic.
All day foreplay.
Exactly. So whether it's touching our feet like we're doing right now, our feet touching and caressing each other, to like just hugging each other, smacking each other's booties as we go past, just all the little things that make your mind think on a sexual nature, even if you're not doing something sexual, but with each other throughout the day. So all day foreplay, and it builds and builds and builds and builds and builds, and you want to have that release when you have the space to have that release, and then you start again, and it's just continuous, and it really keeps you connected physically. Our bodies crave each other's touch.
And memories for it.
Yes, exactly.
It's like a bank. We've got a bank of sexual cues and fortes.
Yeah, synapses are firing.
Yeah,
So it's and that can take on many forms.
Part of our pleasure principle.
Yes, exactly. Pleasure principle. Shout out to Janet Jackson. So that's something that I think is really useful in a relationship, because some couples, couples who we don't have any sexual droughts or sexual like hang-ups or anything, but I hear a lot, and we hear a lot of people who maybe couples have sex once a week or once every 2 weeks or once a month or once every few months. I understand if there's issues in communication and other things like that, but one way to combat that is to all day and all the time show each other how much or tall each other, or do things that communicate in various different ways, through body language, through conversation.
There's so many unique ways that we don't know.
Right.
Share with us,
right.
How you express your love or your sexuality to your partner.
Right. Foreplay doesn't have to just be it doesn't only have to be a heavy makeout session in bed before sex, or quick oral, or whatever it is. It can be lots of little things. It can be a nice little letter that you leave for your partner when they come home, or text message in the middle of the day, or phone conversation, or a look, or when you pass by your partner, putting your hand on their belly or on their shoulder. Well, that's foreplay. It's touch. It's using all of your senses and using your imagination to keep that energy, that connection between each other going throughout, regardless of space and time, but constantly doing that. And it keeps you connected, and it really enhances, in my opinion, the sexual and romantic and emotional experience that you have between each other.
Absolutely. Yeah. I fantasize about you when I'm with you.
Yes, I know. Me too. It's very funny. And I'm like, oh my God,
this person
exactly
blows all my senses.
Love it. So that's all day foreplay. So those are two tools. Calendar, shared calendar. If you can make that happen, is really, doesn't matter which one you use. Doesn't matter what you use for your email software, or whatever you do software wise. Just use something. It doesn't matter if you have
write it down.
Write it down. Put an actual physical calendar on the wall if you have to. Whatever works. Chalkboard wall, whatever. Anyway, do something. But share your calendar. It makes life easy for the two of you. And all day foreplay. All day foreplay.
Explore that. See what that looks like for you.
See what it feels like. See what it likes. It'll it takes a little bit of time to make it to become habit. But once it's a habit, it's really worth it.
So if you want this, you can get this.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So that concludes our inaugural episode of Ann and Dorian's Our Universal Force podcast. And we thank you for listening. Once again, you can email us at ouruniversalforce@gmail.com. And more to come. Future episodes will have some segments. Toolbox is going to be part of it. We'll have some more travel speak, because we do travel a lot. Experiential. We'll talk about some dates that we go on. Talk about some fun and silly experiences we have throughout, whether it's in a sexual way or just in a life way, but something that is can provide some information and some insight into relationships as we go.
We'll have
Thank
our
you.
friends.
Yeah, we'll have our friends too.
We'll
Yeah.
have
It won't
some of
just
our people
be
from
us.
our community who
We have some peeps.
have their reflections.
Oh, yeah. We have a nice community of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Brilliant, beautiful, sexy people.
Yes.
Fun people. So enjoy, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.